Sometimes you have to travel a long way for the biggest stories, and if you were in Atlanta in the United States this year, that story was E3. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is the interactive industry's biggest event. In 3 days, 40,000 people would try to see over 1,000 new games and multimedia packages, and we were doing the same. Outside, it was hot and humid. Inside, it was hot and noisy. Big stands and big lights. This is the place where the hardware manufacturers, developers and distributors try to impress one another. Out to impress those still not convinced of its software support were Nintendo. Things may have been difficult since the 64-bit console's launch, but titles not from the Japanese giant were now everywhere, including Mortal Kombat 4 and the mysterious Mission Impossible. Nintendo's own Banjo-Kazooie and Conker 64 were nearly complete, but getting the most attention was The Legend of Zelda. The fantasy adventure had been one of the earliest titles developed for the N64. Then again, you should never rush gaming genius.
It was Mr. Miyamoto who wanted to get it right, so he's taken his time to create this game. You're going to see Link age from a young boy to a teenager. You'll see night change into day as you play through the game. So it's just a lot of effects, and it's really starting to take advantage of the full power of the N64.
On an even bigger stand, Sony was showing that the PlayStation's success wasn't slowing down. Tekken 3 was pleasing those who liked things dark and deadly, but it was a little dragon called Spyro who was giving Mario cause for concern.
It was something that people said we wouldn't be able to do. Everyone said they saw Mario 64, and they saw sort of the 3D, beautiful, free-roaming style game that it was, and said, no, the PlayStation will never be able to do that, and we love proving people wrong.
Deciding not to prove the hype, at least on the show floor, was Sega. Among the arcade machines and PCs were many hoping to see the Saturn II, now called Dreamcast, but only a lucky few were allowed to see it in action.
We're going to launch Dreamcast in the US and Canada in fall of '99. So it's too soon to be showing the entire system to the public. Our focus right now is building support among the development and third-party and retail communities so that we can have all those systems in place to build into the launch.
Between the meetings, queues for demonstrations and trips between E3's giant halls, finding a friendly face helped ease the pressure. That is, until you had to decide where to go next. Winner for the noisiest stand went to Konami. Built like a military compound and guarded just as tightly, this was home to Metal Gear Solid. Nearing completion, it had already been hailed as a classic, and visitors weren't about to disagree. Visitors of a different kind are at the centre of the X-Files. Fans of the TV series couldn't wait to see their heroes become interactive, thanks to the involvement of creator Chris Carter.
He was the one who created the story for the interactive piece. He and his writers actually wrote the script, and it was Chris who convinced David and Jillian that they should be in the X-Files game.
We're here to help you.
I don't know that I need any help. Who are you?
Eidos Interactive's own heroine, Lara Croft, was looking to please her fans with the third in the Tomb Raider series. But it was another world and another hero called Cutter Slade, who many thought her match. Outcast from French developers Appeal was showing where the future of PC graphics is heading, and they were curved. Voted best game of the show, Outcast was just one title that proved innovation was still possible in an industry that's taking fewer and fewer chances. E3 lasted 3 days and for many was just too much. Travelling back to their hotels, tired attendees would be back the next morning to do it all over again. We'll bring you more about the industry's most important and tiring event in other shows.